Hi guys, what's up? I'm David.
And I'm Scott.
And today we're going to talk to you about how we're really treating our Florida waters.
Florida is surrounded by water on almost all sides and has over 600 miles of beaches.
Those beaches are filled with people in hotels and restaurants all up and down the coast.
The beach is a place to hang out, have fun, and just simply relax.
Come on, keep going. Simply relax.
Simply relax.
But soon there won't be any beaches nice enough to relax on.
Resorts and hotels are popping up everywhere nowadays. They are being built so that everyone can be a part of the natural beauty of our beaches.
But little do they know that this coastal development is actually destroying our environment. A prime example of this is in the Bahamas. The destruction and decay is at an all-time high of the natural beauty, such as the reefs, the animals, and the plant life. A recent study by the United Nations Environment Program found that 58% of the world's reefs are potentially threatened by human activity. Over-exploitation and coastal development pose the greatest potential threat. This is evident everywhere in the Bahamas, as the Bahamas has a great increase in popularity, and so many new resorts have sprung up because so many more people are trying to come. And this, however, is the problem.
Temporary enjoyment of the beautiful coral reefs is actually causing them to be destroyed. Because the resorts tourists are staying at are damaging to the environment. Building on the example of the Bahamas, a new resort was recently built on the island of Great Guana Cay in Abaco, Bahamas. This resort golf course was heavily fought against by the local people, for good reason too. As an observation in early January of 2012, they found massive blooms of sewage-type algae smothering the beach rock and sand where Baker's Bay Golf Course greens lie nearest to the shore of northwestern Guana Cay.
Great Guana Cay has historically been a very rustic place, but this new golf course has drastically changed the island. And at this part in our presentation, we're going to show a PowerPoint and have a picture of the golf course and of the resorts and of the island before the resorts. And we've both been there, and so we can actually have pictures from real life examples of what it was from, what it looked like before it was there. And so we're gonna have a PowerPoint. Yeah, we're gonna have a PowerPoint that goes along with the show, and like showing like pictures of reefs and all that stuff. And so, but many people think that this is harmless and maybe beneficial to the island with the increase in tourism, but it's actually doing the opposite. The problem with building this course was because, according to UN Environment Program, the increased runoff and sedimentation caused by the chemicals needed to maintain and run the golf course. And the Environment Program also found that the sedimentation is one of the main reasons for reef degradation, as heavy sediment loading may cause corals to suffocate and die. So at this point, we're going to have before and after pictures of the reefs. And since we've both been here, we have real life pictures of the reefs that we've taken with underwater cameras. And one reef I traveled to, I took a picture of, and I found another picture online that's from the exact same reef and the exact same angle. So it's really cool to see the differences, because you can see before the golf course was made and how beautiful it was, and afterwards it just looks gray. And it's really neat to see like what it looks like. And so we're gonna have those pictures, and then we're gonna have pictures of the island and like the differences and how it just looks more like all of like the rustic aspect of it is all gone. And we also have a video that we're gonna talk about that we found, and where there's a company talking about these resorts doing this. And so in the next practice video, we're going to have the PowerPoint made, and we'll show that for you as we go along,
including the video. And in addition to the golf course, there has also been an increase in the grosser factor. Grosser factor. An environmental study found that a very large percentage of the sewage generated by the hotels is discharged into the coastal waters without adequate treatment. And by adequate treatment, we mean that they don't properly filter their waste and get rid of all the very toxic chemicals. And so it is common knowledge that something like this would damage the environment. The resorts are required to adequately clean the waste before they dump it into the ocean, as this is the only place our resorts can place the waste. But recently, the resorts have begun to skip steps in order to save money. And as a result, the untreated sewage causes a nutrient enrichment, which favors certain species, algae in particular. And the expense of the corals, the algae begin to bloom and then smother the coral reefs and suffocate them, and they die.
So with both the untreated waste and with the sedimentation from the golf course, it's really just kind of wrecking the environment, and it's all because of these big powerhouse resorts that they're trying to build so that more people can come. But what they don't understand is that these coral reefs are the main attraction for tourists to come to the Bahamas. Like when people go, they go to go underwater and snorkel, or they go to spearfish or fish. But like all of the marine life is just completely gone. And like you would think that with the reefs gone, like there'd still be fish, but that's where the fish live, and so the fishing aspect of it would be completely gone. And so they're destroying these reefs in order to create night resorts makes little to no sense, because it's going to ruin them in the long run. Because just under 50% of all persons in the Bahamas are directly employed in tourism, and if you add those who are indirectly employed in tourism, the percentage increases to a whopping 70%. In 1993, tourists spent approximately $1.3 billion in the country, which contributed to the jobs of over 45,000 persons. And that's a quote from Tourism Today, and that just shows you how many people are involved in the tourism of the Bahamas. And so if we were to get rid of that, then all those people lose their jobs, and the country would most likely fall into debt. And so without the draw of this land, this number would drastically drop, and we would lose something to talk about. And so Baker's Bay sets an example for what's happening all around the world today.
The beauty of the coral reefs and the life that they bring can not be replaced.
Once a coral reef is destroyed, it can take many decades to regrow, as they have to grow on top of each other.
It is very important to realize the effects of coastal development.
It is just one big cycle. When you pay for the week of leisure and fun, you're really paying for the death of reefs at these hotels.
And then when the reefs die, the hotel, they shut down, they move to another location, and they start the cycle all over again.
And then it just starts once again. But what you have to remember, and what you can think about, is that there are plenty of resorts that you can go to where you can stay at that have nothing like this, such as the resorts on Great Guanakee, where they're all natural and they use generators to create their power, and it's a house run by a person in the Bahamas who lives there. And so in my opinion, it's a better experience too, because you're living more of the Bahamian culture, plus it's all natural, and it's like you're living just like you wanted them, and it doesn't ruin their resorts at all. But when staying at one of these big resorts, then it's just you're adding fuel to the fire.
So all we ask is that you have the knowledge and background of what you're really paying for.
And that is an idea worth sharing.